Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shot of no shit, don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way, but I gotta get the shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, I get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. I'll get this situated here. 1 second. Get to that. Oh, all right. Let's get rid of that. Move from studio. There we go. Hello. If you are new to the channel, my name is LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD. I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is where slaves live. Now, there's two kinds of slaves: unconscious slaves and conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves cannot see negative numbers psychologically. Okay. Here's an example for a person that believes they're a homeowner with a mortgage. Now, if you open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. Now, I just want you to stare at the calculator, and while staring at the calculator, I just want you to listen to the sound of my voice. The reason why you believe you're a homeowner is because you cannot see negative numbers psychologically, because the reason why the important word of psychologically is this: you can physically see the number is negative on your calculator, right? But you obviously cannot see it psychologically because you believe you're a homeowner. So that's what I mean by unconscious. And long story short, what it is that you don't believe the calculator. That's just the simplest form, but I'm telling you in its true form, okay? Conscious slaves were once unconscious. They believed the calculator, believed what SMD is telling them, and then they realized they were in debt, way below zero, right? And if you're that far into zero, that means you're owned. Somebody owns you because you obviously don't own yourself because you're deep in zero, right? This is according to the laws of mathematics, but you can't see that because now they can. They figured out who their owners are by believing what they see on the credit report. All you got to do is log into your credit report. There's a list of businesses in there that all own you. It says it right there. All you got to do is just log in and see it. But you can't because you cannot see negative numbers psychologically. So now they do. That was me for the first 40 years of my life. All that engineer, college educated, six-figure earner, good job, all the things that they deem you in the debt matrix, a high valued person, man, whatever, right? I was a six-figure earning slave because I owned none of it. None of it. Absolutely everything in my life I was making payments on. Hence the very word that payments signify the very thing that you need to change. Payments are pointers to say, I'm pointing to something that you don't own. That's what payments mean. Those are indicators. Because that means if you're making payments, you didn't have the money to buy it. See how it works? Well, I didn't know that, even though I was supposedly so smart because I was college educated. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to keep my student loan debt for 10, go to college for 4 years and keep my student loan for 10. Nobody told me that was a bad thing. Everybody around me said it was normal until one day I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, hey, take the arithmetic that we all learned in elementary school, right? Apply it to your finances using these baby steps. And I thought to myself, it cannot be that easy. You mean to tell me it's just simple arithmetic? It sure is. And then when I did it, I said, oh, well, if it's just arithmetic, what's that got to do with religion or anything, all the other stuff he talks about? Nothing. Because if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it's called business. That's what that's called. That's called business. Okay. And then when you get to the baby step 4, I'm like, well, if I have a mortgage, how can I save 15% to retirement? You can't. You can't do that. That's against the laws of mathematics. So you know what that means? That's called business. That's what that's called. Anything that doesn't make mathematical sense when it comes to money, you're like, oh, they do it because of that. Okay, got it. All right, cool. I totally understand it. All right, cool. Do your thing, Dave. Because they know, like people like that, they know, even though I'm saying this out loud, they know you guys can't hear what I'm saying. Why? Because you cannot see negative numbers psychologically. That's why you can't hear me. And I'm giving you guys a crash course, okay? It took me years to be able to tell you what I'm telling you today, telling you about my gift, the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. That's my gift. And it's an obvious gift. It's obvious. That's how I know 100% is a gift, because I could just look in the world and see it's obvious. Everything makes mathematical sense. Everything. Now, I came up with something today, and this is not going to be a long video, but I came up with something today, right? To kind of give you guys, I said, what would be the best way for me to kind of like physically show you guys my world today, my financial world today? What could I do to give you guys a physical view of it, right? Because you guys can't really understand it. You're like, what the hell? You know, they're like, what do you mean? You guys all say this. This is the one thing you guys always say, okay? If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. You guys all say that, right? But isn't that obviously not true? You said if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. Isn't that obviously not true? That's obviously not true. All you gotta do is look around. Now I thought to myself, what if what if they printed negative dollars? Actually printed it like they do the US currency is green dollars, but they printed the same, everything looked the same setup, same penalties if you copy it, all that stuff, right? But it was red. Okay, leaving the money green for like positive numbers, and then the red is for the negative numbers, all right? All right, so now so this is I'm trying to give you guys the best visualization. Okay. So those of you that believe you're homeowners, this is what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to open up your calculator. I want you to put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and then hit equal. Now I want you to look at that large negative number and imagine now instead of just being on the calculator, you had actual negative, you had that amount of money, right? But it was all red, but you had it in cash. Okay. You had this negative number in cash. And you can clearly see that it's negative because the money that you have is red. Now you know you you can't buy anything with this money, right? Right. But this is the money you have. This is the cash you have, right? So when you so say it like this. Okay, so now you're trying to I'm trying to do this the best way I can. I'm trying to figure this out, right? Because I got to reverse engineer it. Okay. All right. You had negative dollars in cash. Now you wanted to save 15% for retirement, right? You want to save 15% for retirement. So you're gonna like, okay, what's 15% of this negative number in negative dollars? It's not even gonna matter, but whatever. You're gonna probably factor it in and pull out 15% of that of all of those negative dollars that you had because somebody told you you could put 15% away for retirement, right? So you take imagine you taking 15% of that large negative number in cash, and then you're going to your job or you're going to a financial analyst and you say, hey man, I want to invest 15% into my retirement. Here's the money. And you laid 15% of negative dollars in cash on their desk, right? Now the person that you're talking to, they know the difference between green money and red money, and they know red money is negative. So when you lay 15% of red negative dollars on the table, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you bringing us that worthless? What do you can't do that. They're going to look at you and say, can't you clearly see this is red? You can't invest negative dollars into anything. You need green money to do that. Right. But here you are trying to that's my physical world right now. If you guys had red dollars on, this is what you guys look like to me today. All of you guys have pockets and pockets full of red dollars. It comes out everywhere. The way when you dress, where you go, when you talk, it's coming out of your pores. It's everywhere. But just think, if it had those, but you couldn't spend these red dollars, but they continue to stack up and stack up and stack up. Now you got to find storage places to put it, because you got too much of it. Nobody wants it. You can't buy anything with it. That's how I see all you guys. Now, if that was the case, you guys would catch on. If that was the case, you guys would catch on. You'd be like, whoa, everybody got these red dollars. And then, and then imagine the people that know you see them with green dollars, you'll know exactly who they are. I don't want that. I don't want that. But when you can see negative numbers psychologically, you could see you could listen, you could clearly see who has the green dollars and who has the red dollars. But since you guys don't know, since you guys forgot about negative numbers, because it is the exact same thing. They're there, but the negative dollars are psychological. They're not physical. And so you're probably thinking, well, if that's true, how have I been investing in my retirement while at work for the job I've been working for 25 years? You haven't. You've been investing with negative dollars. That the red dollars, you've been doing it the whole time with red dollars. Now I know you're gonna probably be glitching. You're gonna be like, well, wait a minute. I can just log into my account and see my retirement in there. What are you looking at? Digital numbers? Are you looking when you log into your account? Tell me this. Are you looking at green pieces of paper or are you looking at digital numbers on a computer screen? So you know why do you believe it's there? Oh, because you saw it when you logged into your account? Oh, got it. Okay, I got it. Got it. But if you but I'm telling you, if you've invested negative dollars, that's not real. Okay, that's not there. It's not there. You can't invest in anything if you have student loans older than your children. You can't do that. If you ever want to be successful in business, if you ever want to be successful in business, ever, you must be in business first, the business of you. The business of you. If the business of you is not in business, no business outside of you is ever going to work because you don't even know you don't own yourself. You got a pocket full of red dollars. You got a pocket full of negative dollars in your pocket, and you think you're doing something. You're not doing anything. You can't buy nothing with negative dollars. That's why all you and all your friends, you guys all got negative dollars. You guys all have them. If they were printed, you would see that. You'd be surprised who had more negative dollars than you. You'll be surprised. You'd be surprised. That's the and I'm just trying to give you I'm trying my best way to give you guys a visualization of how it really works, okay? That's the best way I can even show you. Because I know when you guys look at green dollars, you automatically think positive, right? Just because you're holding it and you're smelling it and you could spend it and you can break it and break it down and get two tens. I know you think that, but all green money you see is positive and negative. It all counts on who's holding it. The money itself is not what it is. It counts on who's holding the money at the time. It doesn't matter who's hold the money doesn't matter. Because if you gave one person $20 to save, they have no debt. They just saved $20. If you get another person $20 that's making car payments, they have negative dollars. $20 minus their car payment equals how much money they have in their hands. I'm gonna do it one more time. $20 minus your car payment and hit equal. That's how much money you have in your hand in negative dollars right there in the calculator. If you're doing this and you hear this video after the fact, I want you to do that. Okay. And then right there on the calculator, that's how much you have in negative red dollars. Now tell me, what are you going to buy with that? You don't have $20 in your hand. You have whatever the calculator says. And then you hand that same 20 back to the person with no debt. Guess what? It turns into $20. Green money. Green. That's how it works. It's like magic, right? It's like magic. The ability to see negative numbers psychologically. Because listen, everybody can see negative numbers physically. All they gotta do is look at the calculator and say, "Yep, that looks like a negative number." That's the physical look. They all know they're there, but psychologically, that from the calculator to their brain, it doesn't transfer. Somewhere in between, it stops it. You know what that is? That's the program. The program doesn't let it transfer over. It doesn't go from the calculator to get into your membrane. The program's in there. Isn't it brilliant? The program is brilliant, man. Let me tell you something. It is brilliant and it commands, I keep repeating this all the time. It commands respect. It commands it. This program took generations. It commands respect. Once you get out of the debt matrix, you're like, oh, damn, 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 damn. What? That that right there. Retirement plans that no, they wasn't matching anything. What what about when they said if you put in so much you get on taxes? Nothing. No. Tax return? What? Or you're just giving them back the money, too much money they put in, you just giving it right back. Yeah. And they think it's extra. Oh my, are you serious? How long was I doing that? You're gonna go through all that. You're gonna go through all that. And then you're gonna be like, how many don't see it? It's like somebody's talking to you, it's like, okay, look, you see? Yeah. So that means the stock market don't exist. No, it don't exist. Nuh-uh. What about gold? No, that doesn't exist either. Silver? No. Okay, cryptocurrency. They break out laughing. Does it look like it's real? Can you touch cryptocurrency? No, then hell no, it's not real. What do you mean? How come they don't see it? They can't see negative numbers psychologically. Isn't that obvious? Yeah, that's obvious. That is obvious. It almost and the best way I can describe my new world is if they actually printed negative red dollars. All you got to do is just imagine that in your head, add up all your savings, add up all your debt, right? And hit enter on the calculator. The negative number you see, imagine that you had that amount of negative dollars in cash. That's all you got to do, right? That's all you got to do. And then imagine what you could buy with that. What can you buy that you can see right now in your wherever you live? What you might be listening to this in your car, on your phone, at home, relaxing on your couch. And I would just say, that's how much money you had to buy everything you have in your life right now. That's how much money you have. So you went and took negative dollars, listen, in cash, and you bought all that stuff that you're using right now to even listen to me. That's how you did it. But then you're thinking, wait a minute, you can't do that. No, you can't. Know why you don't know that? Because you can't see negative dollars. I keep telling you this. I keep telling you. Is it, hey man, isn't that brilliant? That is brilliant, man. That is absolutely hands down. Shut the fuck up. Okay. This is what the real economic system says. Okay, yeah, this is how it does. This is how it works. Congratulations. You get over here, you guys. I promise you. Congratulations, because it deserves a congratulations. It deserves a congratulations. Congratulations. Can you see the congratulations? Oh, hell yeah, you can see it. You can see the congratulations, and you'll be congratulating yourself till the day you die. That's my world. All of you guys have negative dollars in your pockets everywhere. You guys litter the streets with the shit. You know how you do it? In cars and clothes and jewelry and real estate, everything. You guys just litter the city in red dollars, thinking you guys own something. You don't own nothing. You can't buy nothing with negative dollars. You guys be misusing the word buy. I mean, you guys misuse the word buy and assets and stuff like that. You guys have no idea what you're saying. You can't buy a car financing it for 84 months. You can't buy a house financing it for 30 years. You can't buy that doesn't make any sense. Because you got to think, how did I buy this with negative red dollars? I don't know. How did you buy it? How'd you do it? If you had all negative dollars in cash to buy whatever you see in your life, whatever your eyes are looking at right now as you listen to my voice, if you had negative dollars to buy it, knowing that you can't buy nothing with negative dollars, how do you have it? I'm gonna give you a hint. If you're making payments on it, that's a hint. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh like that, but it's so funny because I did it. It's funny when I think about it. If you're making payments on it, that's a hint. Okay, that's a giveaway. You take, and I want you guys to understand something. When you come to this channel, I'm not here to convince you of nothing. Okay, I'm not here. I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. I'm just telling you something that is a 100% fact. No misunderstanding, no misunderstanding of anything. Because listen, I always agree with the calculator. And if I agree with the calculator and you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. If you don't know that you can't buy anything if you have student loan debt, you don't get it. You can't own property. You can't own real estate. You can't write off taxes. You can't do none of that. You're doing that. How you gonna write off taxes on negative dollars? Tell me that. If you had a stack, say like you had $500,000 in negative dollars, how much are you gonna write off on taxes in that in negative? The money doesn't exist. So how could you write off on taxes? What I just told you is why the system commands respect. It commands it. That's why tax evasion is so severe because you don't have to. All you got to do is follow the rules. That's all you got to do is follow the rules. That's all. That's it. And you don't even really have to know the details of just, hey, where you at, what do you do, and then you go find a professional tax person who is debt free. Now I'm gonna say that one more time. Go find you a tax person who is 100% debt free. You go find that person. You walk into their office and you say, hey, I'm debt free. You say that right off the bat. Right off the bat. That'll set the stage. Everybody knows all the rules at that point, right there. Oh, this person knows this. No. Oh, this person basically is this. This person can see negative numbers psychologically. So they get it. So there's different rules. There's total different rules. I mean, there's rules that you see, and then there's some other rules that you don't because you can't see negative numbers psychologically. That's why. It's absolutely, hey man, I'm just telling you, it's absolutely amazing. And it becomes more and more amazing by the day, all the time, all the time. It never stops. It changes your entire life. It's like once you understand this, you understand time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time is time. Because you're gonna be dead. Put it this way. This is the easiest way I could say this. The obvious becomes obvious. I'm gonna just make it really that simple. The obvious becomes obvious. That's what happens. Because once you realize, okay, first you're gonna come into something when you realize you own yourself, and then you're gonna realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. And once you make that the number one rule as your priority, everything else in your life just falls into place. That's the best way I can describe to you. Once you realize that, everything will change in your life because you're gonna want to own the majority of your life because you're gonna realize that you haven't been owning the majority of your life. You're gonna realize that. That's going to come to light. then nothing will trump that. Nothing. And then you'll start to think about the things you used to do, like, and this is in your own life. Once you realize your own self, you start thinking about the things that you did that could have jeopardized the time on earth to do whatever you need to, whatever you're supposed to do. Because I believe everybody's supposed to find their gift, but it prevents that. Now you think it's like, think about it this way, especially when these younger kids. I want you guys to get this, okay? Because I want you to think you're gonna be dead one day. Ding ding. That means time is the most valuable thing on earth. When you're young, you start thinking about sex and all this other stuff, and you start experimenting. And this is what happens. Okay. And this is how to tell when sex controls you. This is the easiest way to tell if sex controls you. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. There's a disease out there called AIDS that will kill you if you get it. Kill you. And I'm saying it this way because I wish somebody would have told me this just like this when I was in that age, 20s and 30s. I wish somebody would have told it to me just like this. Hey, Linnell, yeah, you do know there's a disease out there called AIDS that will kill you if you have unprotected sex with somebody that you don't know, because AIDS don't look like anything, Linnell. AIDS don't care if you're drunk or high or she's fine or you had to, whatever. AIDS don't care. You're gonna be dead if you catch it. But then you go ahead and do it. Have unprotected sex, knowing this. Right there should tell you something right there. Whoa, wait, right there at that moment. If you go ahead and do it, have unprotected sex, knowing fully well that you can get killed from doing this, right there tells you that you don't care about the time of your life. Right there. That's how you know sex controls you, because you don't realize that at that moment. You mean something? Yeah, I can catch something that's going to cut my time here on Earth short due to myself. Yeah, yeah. If you have unprotected sex, yeah, because they're telling you right there, there's something out there that will kill you, and you go ahead and do it. Right there, it tells you that sex controls you. Isn't that obvious? Because when it controls you, this is what happens too. Everybody's experienced it, right? You go ahead and you do it, and then once because you're wrapped up in it, right? And then once it's over, once the sexual gratification is over, and then all of a sudden it's just like this. All of a sudden, then you get your brain back. Because they all say, "Oh man, you know how you get your brain back after sex." That is true, but they don't know what that really means when they say that, right? What that really is, it comes back into consciousness. You come back into consciousness from being took away by sex. You did after the sex is over, you get your brain back, and then guess what? Your consciousness starts saying, you didn't really know that person. Oh my God, you had unprotected sex. You don't know what they care. Yeah, that's listen, that's your consciousness telling you when you were fully controlled by your sexual drive, your sexual ego. This is what your unconsciousness did while you were unconscious. When you come back in, it says these are all the things that your unconsciousness did. You didn't know if that person had a disease, they could have had AIDS. You got kids. This is all the things that run through your head, but you guys don't pay attention to it. You got kids. What if you get a disease and get died? Now your kids are gonna be left with no parents. Dude, that's what it's saying. Hey man, when you were gone, only thinking of your fucking self. This is all the probabilities right here. That tells you right there that sex controls you. That when you get out, when you own yourself, that doesn't happen anymore. That stops immediately. That stops. And then you get on your fucking knees and say, "Thank God." Do you thank God? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You think I thank the universe every single morning for that. Because you know how many times I did that? Many times. That right there, once you own yourself, no time is the most valuable thing on earth. That doesn't happen anymore. That immediately stops. Immediately. That's when you know you're back in control. You're like, oh yeah, sex don't control me. It doesn't control me. Cut my life short? Now sex, you can't do that. No, no. I plan on doing a lot of things on earth. No, thank you. I'll figure it out. That's what that happens. And when that happens, your whole energy changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. And I'm telling you, as a guy, let me tell you something. When you control it, Women's gonna notice that you control it. I promise you, because you're gonna be different than the majority of dudes. Because it's not gonna be fake. You're not gonna have to pretend. It just is what it is. You know this information as a young man. Oh man, your whole life is gonna change. And I'm kind of just giving you guys a hint of what, like, I mean, think about it. That's what I really want you guys to think about. If you know there's a virus out there that will kill you and you go ahead and have unprotected sex, that is clearly crystal clear, obvious that sex controls you. That is obvious. That you see what I'm saying? Look how obvious that is. But when it controls you, you don't really see that for some unknown reason until you bust that nut, and then whatever you got to do, you get your brain back, and then the consciousness kicks in and says, hey, look at all the shit that happened while you were unconscious in sex. Look at all this shit, all this risk, everything. Now we got to go get checked because we don't know if that motherfucker had a disease. Now and then your kids pop in your brain at that moment. You're like, yeah, I keep telling you. But the majority of people just ignore that. Ignore the conscious obvious. Don't even pay attention to it. Once you understand, once you get out of there, all these dating groups and stuff like that, all that shit changes. All of it changes. All of it, especially when you understand, when you it's a combination. Okay, when you can see negative numbers psychologically, and then when you own yourself, and then you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. All like you'll listen to all these dating coaches and what's a good man and bad man. You're going to clearly see that none of that shit has nothing to do with anything. You know, hey, listen, you don't need no dating coach. All you gotta do is own yourself first. Just own yourself. You gotta put it the price of admission. If you want to come over here and even remotely understand what I'm talking about, if you even want to know, the price of admission is zero. The price of admission is zero. You got to get here. You get here, your life changes forever. It forever changes, ever. You can't go back. You cannot go back. There is no going back. You'll never accidentally finance a car again. You won't do shit like that. That won't happen. You'll know who to date. You'll know who to take serious, who not to take serious, because they don't know. Slaves are walking around blind, totally blind, totally blind, totally blind. And I'm telling you right now, but before it happens, I always like to say this because I like to. It's almost like you can damn near tell the future. Okay, all right, because it's so profound. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's fucking cool. But uh, they're gonna they're gonna be like, this dude's a financial genius. You know, he's the black. You know, they're gonna compare me to somebody, and I'm just telling you guys right now, before it happens, I just trust the calculator. So when you guys hear that shit in the future, when they start adding names, because they're gonna start adding my color, think my color got something to do with it. He's black, or it's this and that. He's this type of educated. He had this kind of college, and they're gonna throw out all these statistics at you to try to figure out what. And I'm just telling you right now, I just trust the calculator. I don't think I'm a genius. I just believe what I see on the calculator. That's it. So when you guys, you know, when they talk about SMD somewhere, I want you guys to say, "Hey man, he ain't no genius." Now that's gonna throw them off. They're gonna be like, "What you mean? Why are you talking negative about it? Negative about him?" You're gonna say that's not negative. He's a genius for trusting the calculator. He's a genius. Okay, well, whatever. And then if you take the negative red dollars and just really, really think about what I'm saying, okay? Just think about what I'm saying. Some of you guys might be too scared to do it because That would be a very scary exercise. Okay, it would be you have to be strong to actually do what I'm saying. You have to be mentally strong. Okay, because you're going to have to be mentally strong. What's going to come with it? Because you're going to start connecting the dots. You're going to be like, wait a minute. If I finance the house and then I do what LJ says, I'm like negative $300,000 negative. And then if you add my student loans, which is about another 100,000, that's negative $400,000. Now, if that was in cash, how have I been invested in the stock market? Hmm. Then, then what am I looking at the computers? Then what are the if I can't do that, then what are the numbers that I'm looking in when I log into my account and see how much money I have in the stock market? I don't know. You tell me. What do you see? I see digital numbers. What do you see? I just want to. I mean, I wish it's like a matrix. I'd be like, I don't know. What do you see? You log into your account. You see you have a crazy amount of retirement, but your whole life you've had negative red dollars to pay for it. I don't know. What do you see? I see digital numbers. What do you see? You know what you see? You see green dollars. Whose fault is that? Listen, whose fault is that if I see digital numbers and you see green dollars? Whose fault is that? That's not green dollars. What do you see? Then you're gonna be like, then you're gonna connect, then you're gonna look at your car, then you're gonna look at your brand new TV, then you're gonna look at your brand new mic setup that you did probably to start your podcast and all this other stuff. You're like, wait a minute. I've had negative cash to buy everything. Sure have. Yes, yes. But you can't buy anything with negative dollars. No, no, you can't. What'd you do? Steal it? Did you steal? Hey, listen, did you steal everything in your life right now? Did you steal it all? Did you steal that car you're driving in right now? Did you steal that refrigerator with the TV screen in it? What about that washer and dryer with the matching candy colored washer and dryer? Did you steal that? No, you're not a thief? Then how is it in your house? What about that new car outside? Did you steal that? Because you're telling me you bought it with negative dollars, and we both know you can't buy a car with negative dollars. So did you steal that car outside? No? Then how you have it? What's up, everyone? Hello, hello. Like I said, this is not going to be a long one. It's going to be a short. I'm probably getting this off in about 15, 20 minutes. Getting off this particular one. What's up, Mr. Mosman? Do you think another crash? Logan says, do you think another market crash is coming due to what is currently going on? This is, from now on, this is what I do, Logan. This is what I do. I don't try to look too far because I look at it this way. The further out you can see, the higher you are up on the chain. Okay. If you're way up there, you could see way further than me. I try to stick to where I am. So this is what I do. I say, okay, I knew they were going to push the student loan payments back. I already knew that was going to happen. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. That wasn't a shocker to me because you guys nobody really has no money. There's jobs available right now. The shit don't even make any sense, right? It's a horrible time in the economy, but there's jobs available everywhere. and that could only be because of one reason: the unemployment, the extra money that they're getting from the government, right? That's the obvious answer. Okay, so it really doesn't shock me why it's like that, but the extra money that they're getting from the government, okay, that's going to be easily changed. They're just going to cut that money off. Okay, they're going to cut that. As soon as they cut that money off, all of those jobs that are available, they're going to be filled instantly. Especially no one. especially when the student loan payments kick back in. So when that money cut off, student loan payments kick back in. They, of course, they're going to have to get some jobs. Everybody's going to be working 5 and 6 jobs because they're going to be wanting to keep the stuff. Listen, this is how it's going to work, because they're going to want to be able to keep all the stuff that they financed during this whole break of the student loan pause of this. They've been spending like crazy. They even removed the student loan debt from their credit reports temporarily, shooting their DTI up so they can finance more shit. Okay, I'm just telling you how it's going to work, right? And then soon as they put those student loan debt back on the credit report, they're going to be instantly underwater. And then you add the payments, they're going to be working 5 and 6 jobs to keep all the shit they financed because they just bought it. Well, they think they just bought it. Then they're going to try to maintain that shit for like 2 or 3 months. And then when they figure out that they can't, then they're going to crack. Okay, that's going to be about 6 months into next year. I say about June, July, maybe. This is just a prediction. I'm just giving you guys what I see because of what. That's it. And I stopped right about here. 2022. I always think, what major is going to happen? Student loan payments are due. Okay, that's something's going to happen there. Hey man, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I love having a seat in the arena and just watching it, man. It's just like masterful. It's just like, wow, that's amazing. Oh, you guys do that, which causes that, and then they'll do that. Oh, okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. How long did it take you guys to do that? Oh, that took us probably about a couple centuries. Yeah, that was the hard part. Yeah. How'd you get them to how do you, it's like this? How do you, this is, I would, there's probably some questions I'll never be answered. I'd be like this. Okay, tell me this. Tell me this. How did you come up with a piece of paper? Clearly tell them on the website how much you made this piece of paper for, right? But then you draw like a 100 on it, and then you say, "Hey, here it's $100." How long did that take? You know what? Well, I'm sure that was a couple centuries too. Because that's it. I mean, think about it. They ain't hiding anything. They say, "Hey, this is how much we made that money for, right there." Have you noticed all these like financial analysts? They always talk the rising and the fall of the dollar, and it's doing this, and the economy is causing it to do that, and blah blah blah. It's like, wait a minute. I just went and looked on the government website. They're telling me how much the dollar's worth right there because they make it. Why? Listen, why would I believe all the analysts when the central bank is telling me how much they made it for? Why would I? What do you mean the rise of the? Sometimes when I hear like financial analysts talk, hey man, the dollar's doing this because of the yen and this, I just go back to the government website and see if it changed from 14 cents. No, it's still 14 cents. They are making it cheaper though. For some reason, it's being made cheaper because couple years ago, last year, whatever, they used to make $100 bill for 19.6 cents, just under 20 cents. And then bam, then now they make it for 14. It's like, wow. And then when you look at it, it's like, oh, that's just business. Yeah, that's just business. That's no different than buying it. It's just like business. It's no different than if you bought a whole bunch of iPhones at a big bulk rate, right? You're gonna get it really cheap. And then you sell it to everybody at full price. That's how it works. It's no different. It's the same thing. But everybody knows, hey, we don't care what you make. And listen, and this is just what I see. We don't care what you make duplicates of, multiple multiple cryptocurrencies and all the, multiple stocks and bonds and invest in that. Hey, but you just can't copy this. See this green piece of paper? You can't copy this. We are the only ones that can make it. There is no competition because we said so. Okay. We make this. You can't copy it. If you try, we're going to take away the time in your life for it. Do you understand what that means, slave? Half the slaves don't even know what the fuck that means. You copy this piece of paper. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't stab nobody. You trying to copy a piece of paper. We're going to take away a large portion of the time in your life for copying it. Okay, understood. Clearly understood. Nobody does it. You're like, oh, okay, got it. Got it. Don't do that. Okay, cool. Even when I was a young man, you would hear people doing it. When I was younger, I used to think to myself, yeah, but it's something that seems very no, because you got people out there that will try to do it, will copy, and knowing the penalty for it, and they'll still try to do it. Hey man, I'm just here to tell you this. Let me tell you this. If you risking your, if you risking the time of your life for worthless pieces of paper, you clearly don't understand the rules. You clearly do. You clearly do not understand the rules. Clearly, if you're financing a car, you clearly don't understand the rules. Why would you finance something that's going down in value? You guys know this too. You guys know it. You guys all say the same thing. Hey, a car depreciates soon as you drive it off the lot. No, slave. It depreciates soon as you step on the lot and crack your lips and talk about financing. That's where it starts. It don't start when you drive it off the lot. No. That's when it really, hey, listen, that's when it really starts going down when you drive it off the lot. That's when it really starts going down. You think those guys bought you think those guys got those cars for the same price you guys are financing them for? Come on, man. You can't believe that. You cannot. You'll never know the cost of that ever, ever. You'll never know the cost of that. I mean, I don't remember who said it, but was when LJ was on Ramil's back a while. Oh, something else here. Other people's money, mate, check, and mate. I'm going on mute now. Anyway, so with the red dollars, man, that's the best way I can try to give you guys a physical representation of the financial world that you want to be in. You want to be able to see that. You want to be you want to be able to see negative dollars. You want to be able to see negative numbers. You want to. You're going to have to ignore everyone that you've been around all of your life. All you got to ignore them all. They're all trapped. You got to let them be. And some people think student loans will get canceled. They sure will. I got some bad news for you guys. And if you can listen, you can believe me or not, it doesn't matter. But listen, they're never ever going to release that many of their slaves. Ever, never. Releasing that many slaves would hurt the economy. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Now, when they say that to you, I don't know why they say that to you. Okay, I know it's a reason. It's a reason to get your hopes and feelings up. It's a reason for that. I mean, because you guys, listen, you guys do the weirdest things. Sometimes again, and I'm sure it's something that I just don't see yet, but it's part of it, right? You guys be doing some of the weirdest things when they say stuff like that. Some of you guys will hear that, and then you guys will go up and sign up for school thinking because you heard that the president was going to forgive all the student loans. Then you'll get these groups talking about, hey, we're doing a boycott. We're not paying our student loan debt. You better not follow them. I'm going to tell you that right now. Anybody you see doing that, you better not follow them. You better not. What they're going for, that's never going to happen ever. It doesn't matter how much they protest. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't just borrow money and not pay your bills. You can't do that. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. You got to do just like what everybody else that did that freed themselves from student loan debt. You got to pay it off. You got to work. You got to not do things. You got to ignore everybody around you that's going on vacation and looking like they're having all this fun, but you got to ignore all of it, all of it. The price of admission here is zero. Millions won't be able to do that. Millions. Millions will never know what I'm even saying even exists. They won't even know ever. That's how it must be, though. Okay. It got to be that way. That's important. I 100% respect the system. 100%. 100. If you're messing with somebody that you know they're cheating on the taxes, you better stay far away from them. Far. Do not associate with yourself with anybody that does that in any way, in any shape or form. You know, like when you get your tax return, hey, we can get you the largest return and all this other book. How you gonna get me the largest return? What are you gonna do? Is everything you're doing legal? Is it all legal? Well, you know, they always do this. Well, if you do this amount and you keep this amount, it's a threshold. Nope, sorry, you're fired. I want to get back what I'm supposed to get back. That's what I want to get back. What I'm supposed to legally supposed to get back. That's it. Even with that, once you get out of the debt matrix, you're going to be like, you're going to, even when you know, how, if you're a person that gets happy on you're going to, tax return season's coming and you get happy. Once you get out of the debt matrix, then you're going to be able to see negative numbers. You're going to say to yourself, then what was I getting happy for? I don't know. What would you just was giving them too much money. They were just giving you back the money that you gave them too much of. What do you mean I gave him too much money? Yeah, you didn't adjust your W-2 or whatever that is to adjust to say, hey, just take out this much, and that way I want to have to get so much. Then you can use your money during the year and not wait to the end of the year. But you don't know that. Nobody's giving you anything. Why do you guys think that? But that's what you guys think. That's why you see businesses have all these sales around tax time. Hey, come in and get the tax bed and your tax washer and dryer and your tax this. Why do you think that is? Because you guys don't know it's not free money. You're happy to get the money that you worked for. That sounds so weird. Why would you be happy? I mean, when you get your check every Friday or every other Friday, do you jump for joy and say, "Woohoo! Oh my God!" Like they gave you some money? No, you know you worked for it and you're just picking up your check. That's the same thing. All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap this up because I have an appointment. I hope you guys really take this video and understand it, man. I really do. And take this exercise and do it amongst yourself. Do it quietly amongst yourself. You don't have to tell nobody that you're doing it. Check this out. You won't be able to tell anybody anyway because they won't understand why you're doing it. That's what I love about this gift. I can say this shit out loud. Maybe 5% of people will ever hear it. That's amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing. Hands down, amazing. I feel blessed to be even chosen to understand this type of information. I feel blessed. It's worth Googleplex. It really is. It really is. Yes, it is. And I'm sharing this with you guys, man. I'm sharing it with you. Those who will listen. All right, you guys have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye.